Good day and welcome to the Dialogue podcast. Today we have Mr. Tabani. Tabani is going to be with us doing just an overall view in terms of what is happening and topics that are interesting to us, especially with the hip-hop and a little bit of sports as well. So let's start with Tabz. Tabz, just do a brief intro, man. How did you end up here? Just a 2 minutes one.
Let's start with that intro.
Yeah.
Mr. Tabani. It's Tabz. It's Tabz, a.k.a. Bear, a.k.a. Sexy Beast, a.k.a. Beyonce's side nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That would have been
Jay
much
knows
better.
about that shit.
Yeah. How did I end up here? You called me up, man. That's how you called me.
Yeah.
You called me. My phone rang and I picked up, and you were like, "Let's do this," and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No. Thanks for joining me, man. Look, I think what I want to do with the podcast, you've got what we actually need and what we're trying to do with the podcast in terms of the interest, especially with the hip hop, especially with the rugby and the sports, and overall general knowledge what's happening around. Hopefully, we can have topics or have conversations that people can learn more, as well as get ideas in terms of how we think and how start a conversation. Hence the name of the podcast is the Dialogue Podcast. Yeah. Just start a conversation. And how do you think you can actually contribute to such things?
Well, obviously, not obviously, but not a lot of people know this. So some people do. I was involved in the music industry a bit. I was once a DJ. So when it comes to music, I have a little bit of knowledge in that, especially with hip hop.
Yeah.
And sporting ground. I played a little bit of rugby. Went semi-pro. Just to give you a little brief, I played Sharks under 19, under 21, and I played a little bit overseas, and then I played Lions amateurs as well. So I've been involved in the rugby fraternity for many years, for about 18, 20 years now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. So let's get on with the show. Let's start, man. I think you've introduced yourself, and I think as we go along, people, as they watch the episodes, they're gonna get what type of person you are and so forth. So,
so this is my welcome party. Okay.
Yeah, this is it, man.
I don't
Cheers,
know. I thought we're just co-hosting, man. Okay, so it's all about me. It's my party.
All right. So let's start. On Friday, I sent you something to listen to. It was actually Costa Stitch. Costa Stitch dropped an album which was made in Africa. And I let me just set this up. I thought it was above decent. I think it was pretty decent album to drop. So I want us to touch on that, as well as the two songs that Rick dropped last week, which was Young Nisha or whatever that he dropped. Well, it was actually house and Amapiano tracks.
Yeah.
So you didn't like the Costa Stitch album.
Why would you say that I didn't like it?
You say
Why you gotta put me on the spot? Like I didn't like it. Like I was like, fuck this thing. Can we curse?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
No. I sent this to him, and he was like, I sent him two, right? I was like, it's Costa Stitch as well as KO. Yeah, I sent him KO.
Yeah.
And you know what he comes back with? He's like,
shit emojis.
At least you can listen to KO. I'm like, how? This guy. What's okay? Talk.
Let me explain. All right.
Yeah.
This Costa Stitch is a titch or what?
Yeah.
All right. The Costa Stitch kid, man. I don't know him. Obviously, you introduced me to him.
Yeah.
I listened to him, man. Like he's a dance with me type of artist. That's what I felt. You know what I mean? Like come dance with me.
Yes.
So I'm old school, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm old school. Obviously, hip hop has changed over the years. So for me, I was like, okay, it's a nice club type of song. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I cannot judge that or rate that type of music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As a hip hop head, I like to consider myself one. Do you know what I mean? I can't rate it if it's good or shit.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So for me, I was like, that's not for me.
You talking about in Kalagata, ne?
Not in Kalagata. Not in Kalagata.
Because what I sent to you, it's
Okay,
the
I thought
album.
you said the Made in Africa. Oh, I was supposed. Okay, the Made in Africa. I listened to a track called Made in Africa.
Oh,
I didn't know it was an album. Was it an album?
It's an album, dog.
Damn. Okay, I just listened to one track and I was just like, okay, man, this guy is a dance with me. You know what I mean? The screw cat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, for me, it just didn't touch me. You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, maybe in a club. Do you understand? Because I just feel like that's where we discover music, or that's where we get a liking of music, is when we're partying and then you remember that song and be like, oh, this is a song that got women dancing or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But for me, as if I'm listening or playing in my car or at my place, nah, it's not for me. That's what I thought about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because look, as you say, you didn't listen to the album, but in terms
sorry about that.
In terms of the whole album, it's similar type of tracks, all right, which are
Garbage.
No, it's not garbage, dog. Look, no, it's not. Do you know what?
This is me. This is my opinion.
Yeah,
okay.
no, I understand.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna say now is, I accept that it's not the best. All right, it's not the best, but understanding where hip hop is currently, it's better than the rest. Let's put it that way.
Probably. Yeah.
Lyrically, the guy is, because he was a dancer for
that makes
Ukespa.
sense now. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
He was a dancer for Ukespa,
Alright.
and then of course he wanted to branch off and do hip hop. So in terms of, you know, where he's coming from and where he's going now, he's into hip hop. He's not the best lyrically, but I think the way he did, you didn't listen to the album. But if you do listen to the
I'm sorry
album,
about that, Costa Titch. I
Yeah.
didn't listen to your album. I'm judging from one track.
yeah, what it did is that he brought in, you know, industry veterans, okay, which was a smart move, all right, as a new kid.
Co-signing.
Yeah, so he's got Rick is in there. He's got about AKAs there. He's got a song with this Java, you know, and numerous others. So for me, that was excuse me, that was a smart move, and especially for someone who's coming in, he needs to stamp his authority. The second thing that I liked about the album, all right, is it was a hip hop album, all right. If we take it with beats and everything like that, and then on the other side you take it with the lyrical skills. The lyrical skills are not the best, like I said. You know, let's call it average. The beats that he chose are essentially South African, you know, which is what we've been crying for. You know, there's guys that are doing trap. There's guys, you know what's going on at the moment, and he stuck to hip hop inclined beats, which was very nice and a pleasure to hear. Where the guy he brought out a full album that is hip hop beats, you know, instead of trying to assimilate with Amapiano, because they are the ones that are popping now. Right.
Okay.
And I think we had a conversation earlier in the week when we spoke about Uriki Rick, where he brought out two songs, and the one is a house track, and then the one is an Amapiano track. You know.
Yeah.
And we sitting back and we're like, this guy is probably close to the top in terms of hip hop, but he's not bringing out any hip hop music.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
So. Look, you didn't listen to it, but
yeah,
I think he's got a big.
He's gonna blow up. You think he's gonna blow up? I mean, he probably will. He probably will, man. Like I said, I listened to Inkalagata. The you recommended.
Yeah,
to
the
me.
remix. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard it. I won't lie to you. Like I said, I'm old school, man. So at the same time, I just feel like it's kind of not my job. Well, not really my job. But I'm saying it's not for me to judge sometimes. You know what I mean? It's something that we that's how hip hop has progressed in years, is that. But at the same time, from an old school type of dude, man, I listened to Ngalagata and I just felt like it's a track that I've heard before for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like somebody has done something similar to that or with the same flow. That's how I felt about Inkalagata. But nonetheless, it's a fun song. I mean, I can see it blow up. I can see why.
It did blow up, actually.
Oh, it did it.
It's from the end of last year, yeah.
Okay, so I can see why. I mean, it's a fun song. But that's what this new era of hip hop has become. For me, there's very few cats that are actually doing the kind of hip hop that I'm used to. Let me say that. So, like, for me, it's hip hop has become anybody can do it. Like you said, this kid comes from a dancer to becoming a wannabe a rap artist or hip hop artist. That's how easy it is, man. All you gotta have is a good flow and a good beat and a good hook.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
And the right management behind.
And the right management behind. I mean, we're gonna touch on that. But it's funny enough that I was after you basically asked me to listen to that track. I looked at what hip hop has become now and trying to actually like understand it. I look at a guy like MT, you understand, who I feel like is basically in South Africa is one of the is actually, if not the guy that actually changed the mumble rapping or introduced mumble rapping.
That's what trap. They call it trap.
Yeah, trap. Okay, yeah. Like I feel like he's that guy. He proved it. I mean, this guy. I got introduced to MT with what is the song called? Roll Out or Roll On, whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's Danny. No.
Yes.
That song for me is garbage. The first time I no. Wait. Let me explain. Yeah. Do you understand? That song for me when he came out, I thought this guy is whack. Do you understand? But I went to parties because I used to party those days. You know what I mean? And I saw what it did to people.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So when I saw what it did to people. Then I realized and I understood like why people like this shit because it's so simple. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a rapper to rap along that shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's how I see it now. So if that guy can make a hit and become an icon in the SA industry, then what's stopping a dancer from wanting to be a hip hop?
No, true. Look, I've got a. Look, I respect MT, right? Because,
I respect him too, dog.
Yeah, because I feel that he actually, as much as he took an idea, which is the trap idea from overseas and it brought it but I still feel that as a South African, you can see yourself in it because he changed it to appeal.
He did.
And that's why you saying that when you went out and you went to the clubs or to the parties, you saw that it had an effect on people because they could identify with it. There's a lot of music that guys are bringing out where you just sing like, okay, you're rhyming and everything, but you're not talking to me, right? There's not an emotional context or emotional connection between me as a listener and you, what you're rapping. Yeah. And what guys do is that they've taken over and they said, okay, the trap is quite easy to rap. You know, it's just a bar and a bar and a bar. You know, there's not a lot of lyricism that is involved or wordplay that is involved. Understand? So
MC had some wordplay, man.
Well,
shout out to MT for that track.
Yeah.
Man.
So So what I'm saying is, for me, he took it and made it ours, and that's why you're getting about Black Diamond now.
I like that guy
because they doing.
I like that guy.
Yeah, they doing what MT did, but they just doing it maybe at a better level, at a smoother level, at a more convincing level, because MT had to put the pieces together for himself. When they've got the blueprint now, which okay, this trap thing, if you can do it in Zulu and maybe bring in some elements of umpaqanga or anything like that, it can work here in SA, right?
Yeah.
So for me, he sort of pioneered something, but there are lazy guys that actually just take, copy and paste what's happening in America and bring it here, and hopefully it works. And then they wonder why they're not selling or people are not streaming them, because it's not affecting us, it's not moving us emotionally. We're not identifying with the stuff that you're talking about, you know. Yeah. So, and it actually leads us to this conversation of, I think a lot of people can identify with Amapiano currently, in terms of the youth and in terms of guys that are going out and having a good time, especially coming up to December now, they can identify with Amapiano. And where Amapiano are currently, it's where hip hop was about 4 or 5 years ago. You understand?
Yeah.
They were the main attraction.
Yeah.
When people are looking what to do over the weekend, they're looking at the posters.
Where the hip hop artist is.
You understand?
Yeah.
The hip hop artists were taking that. And I'm not sure why. Maybe we can discuss that. Why is it that Amapiano have actually, which is a younger genre, music genre, have taken over that space that hip hop was 4 or 5 years ago?
It's a bit of a tough one, but to actually break it down, what happened for me, man, there was something I wanted to talk about. Okay, yeah, that's before I get to the Mapiano, man. I want to get to KO.
KO, yeah.
I want to get to KO. I want to get to KO because
the song that I said you must listen to. It's
Lucky Star or something.
Lucky Star, yeah. It's his latest release.
Yeah, I listened to a KO, man. So I listened to KO, and why I thought that, I mean, listen, KO is KO. Do you know what I mean? He's a legend. He's a, you know what I mean? I like the way I like his flow.
Yes,
do you know what I'm saying? But
it's unique.
Yeah, it is unique, you know? But for me, I listen to KO, and I can tell you to go back 5 albums or maybe songs before this one.
Yeah.
He's talking about the same thing. That's how I felt about it. Do you understand? That's how I felt about it. It's like he's talking about the same thing. It's like,
okay, but Tabz, let's be fair.
Yeah.
On that song, I think maybe you got seduced by the beat.
No.
Listen to this.
All right.
The beat is similar to what he's been doing for the past 5. Because on that song, he's rapping about coming back and actually stamping his authority in the game.
How many times is AKO gonna come back? I feel like he's been rapping about coming back. That's basically what I'm saying. It's like you listen to the last 5 of his track, the guy's been coming back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what I'm saying.
I think you know, I don't know how much it affected him, because I know I follow him on Twitter, right? And I know a lot of guys, especially after his last album, right? Yeah. A lot of guys were complaining that he's singing too much and all of that stuff. So I think when he's talking about the comeback now, I think he's trying to actually position himself. He's coming back to actually, you know, bringing back that, you know, that how he used to rap, dog. The guy used to rap, and bringing back that, you know, that old KO rap, boom, 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 boom. You understand? So that's what I think he's talking about. I think he got squeezed because people were complaining. I was complaining. I was like, I don't know this KO,
man.
Singing KO and all of that stuff.
I feel like KO has been on the comeback since he's in Galagata. I'm not Galagata, Karakara. You know, I feel like after that, I mean, he had a good thing going on with what was it, record label? Totsifol or something. Cash Time. Yeah. He had a good thing going on he had some nice artists on that. And and he just never lived up to Ikarakara, right? It's still his best work, you know, in terms of recognition. Yeah. You know, and I felt like last year, because I didn't follow much, but I did see it in the periphery when I was traveling, and KO is here, KO is there. You know, he had a Gom song going on for him. Do you understand? And I thought, like, okay, this is his comeback. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's gonna come back a different guy.
With the Gom song.
Yeah, listen, man, the Gom song, I can't remember what it was, but the Gom song was actually it was a popular song. It was a popular song. I think Nile Walk, right? Yeah, Nile Walk. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it was Nile Walk was memed like a motherfucker, man. So you know what I mean? That was his comeback.
So a hip hop guy comes back with the Gom song.
A Gom song. That I'm saying, it's like that's how, you know. I mean, he had this kind of vibe type of thing going for many years. So I'm thinking this is the new vision. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then he comes back to try and reclaim maybe a spot that he feels like he deserves.
He owned before.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So he comes back, and then the guy is still rapping the same. The guy is still making soccer references.
Yeah.
But you mean that ball and go Jabu Pule. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like I'm just like so I'm listening. I'm listening to this guy. I'm just like, damn, man, did you just drop a line about Umbazo not so long ago, and now you still talk about, you know?
But Tabz, let's be fair. I think if you talk about football in SA, supposedly we're a football country, right? So shouldn't that like appeal to people or appeal to?
Yeah, but be fresh about it, man. Be fresh about it, man. You know what I mean? So when you're making references, man, when you're making references, I don't know. It's not a rule. This is my rule, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying is that when you're making references or about anybody that's legendary, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be a good story to back that up. Do you understand? So I don't know when you're talking about Jabu Pule, when I had Jabu Pule, do you know what I'm saying? Jabu Pule was a wizard. Yeah. You understand? But he was also an addict.
Yeah. So what part of Jabu Pule
are you talking about? When you know what I mean? Like,
So. Oh yeah. That too. You know what? When you talk about what especially, let's talk about Jabu Pule, where he's referencing Jabu Pule, right? And I think one of the, if you had to like, let's say reference one of the best games I think that has ever happened in football, Limesans, is that game. It was a Coca-Cola final.
Jomo Cosmos.
Against
bro.
Jabu Pule was the shit there, bro. Like, I've never seen
someone on drugs, man.
Dude, I've never seen someone dominate a game that much. And not only just a normal league game, it dominated a final that much. Yeah, boy. I saw no win on Togos or something.
Yeah, I'm saying
so. At some stage,
Jabu Pule was on top of the world at that time, man. He was in his own world, you know. Yeah, and literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So I get your point where I think.
But that was just an example. Okay.
Yeah. No. It makes sense. You have to be more specific. You can't just say Jongo Jabu Pule, but which part of Jabu Pule are you talking about? Because
we already know almost. I mean, he's not dead, but I'm just saying is that we already know how it ended up. You know, it's like people say it ended in tears. Yeah, and that's what happened with Jabu Pule. It ended in tears. He's one of the best footballers we've ever seen. Do you know what I mean? After like your Dr. Kumalos and you know what I mean? Yeah. For me, I think that was the last time I watched PSL. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? After
I actually, just maybe before we move on from this, I actually think that if that guy behaved and actually was professional, I actually think he could have reached close to Messi level. That guy had the skill.
That's
and
how nice he was.
And he had the football knowledge. You know, the know-how. Yeah. Right? You can have the skill, but the know-how of what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Right? Yeah. That for me, I think it's one of the great tragedies for SA football that Jabu Pule didn't reach his full potential.
Okay. But now let's move on. Let's get back to music. Yeah. Now. Okay, we spoke about that. So you asked me, what was the question again? Because I just needed to address that.
I said why is Amapiano ahead of hip hop?
Oh, okay. The thing is, it became ahead of hip hop. I don't think there's a formula for it. I just feel like for the Amapiano came. They took all the tangibles that hip hop had. Do you understand? And basically, hip hop was unruly. You remember, hip hop was unruly. Hip hop was disrespectful. Hip hop was in your face. Do you understand? And then Amapiano just used that.
No, but Tabz, okay. Before we get there, right? In terms of what Amapiano is currently, when Amapiano came through, it was most foul language
I've ever heard
of music, right?
Yeah. Underground.
And when they came through at that time, hip hop had cleaned up its image. You talk about Ikarakara earlier on, right? Ikarakara was one of the smoothest, cleanest. You know, it's about having fun. It's about, chilling with the cars and everything like that. So we can't say that that's what gave Amapiano.
It gave him the edge. I feel like it gave him the edge because, like I said, hip hop
hip hop
became clean.
Okay.
Do you understand? People,
But that's what you need, dog, to play
Yeah,
on
we
radio.
do. Okay, fake. That's what I'm saying. It became clean, so it's more corporate or it's more commercial now than anything. So everybody's doing it for a deal now. So I feel like the guys that had the what is it? That had the control over hip hop.
Yeah.
We're more focused on being business. We're more focused on business than being street or anything, if that's the word. Do you know what I mean? They were more focused on business. So they were more focused on getting the airplay and getting, I mean, in hip hop, where I know hip hop is that in South Africa, most artists don't make money. I mean, if not all, but I'm saying most of them don't make money off sales. They make money off bookings.
Yeah.
So the bigger your song is, the more bookings you're gonna get.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand? So that's what they were focusing on. And then at the same time, you had Mapiano in the underground that was popping in Pretoria.
So you think it was appealing to the youth better than what hip hop was?
The youth. I mean, you remember yourself when you were 16, 17.
Yeah.
18. We were listening to, when we were younger, we listened to Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The Doggy Style came out. Some shit that you wouldn't even play when your parents are not around. That's the only time we can play it.
Yeah.
And we were we were like so fascinated about this niggas using the word motherfucker so much. Do you understand? And
the beeps.
And the beeps. You know what I'm saying?
You know what that line was
I want to know what that is. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? 0 hour zone, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So at the end of the day is that Sikula in Ekas, you know, we used to call ourselves motherfuckers for no reasons. For no reasons. Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it was cool. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. But the thing is that it was cool. That's what it was. It was cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then from a hip hop point of view, because I was always a hip hop, even the guys, it was, oh, you're my man, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had an old man at a funeral telling me, telling us, it was like a group of us, we all dressed the same. We dressed like, as in South African terms, we dressed like niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we were sitting there in the funeral, I remember. And after the funeral, we're just sitting, we're not, I was not a smoker then, but so we're just chilling, talking in English. But the American slang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, this and that. And this old man comes through and is like, hey, no motherfucker, Nina. No motherfucker. I need to pay a lot. You know? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. So that.
But you live the culture.
You live the culture, man. So now you had a Mapiano now coming up with who actually started this was when him. No, not Maurice. Who started this was the guy that did Sister Petine.
Oh yeah.
Do you understand?
What was his name?
Hamrimba, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Mcharimba, yeah. That guy, basically for me, is the founder of what we have or what we had with Mapiano. Then everybody's like, yo, I can do this. I think that's where the style comes from.
What?
That's why I think
that song is like
20 years ago, man.
Yeah, it's in the mid
2000s.
Yeah, 2000s.
Maybe early 2000s. Early 2000s. But I'm saying is that, so if you listen to that style, take away that beats, that Aliyah beats and whatnot, and just put him a piano, a beat, and you know what I mean? About to see Lubu, Shabit, about to Pepala, do you understand?
Yeah,
that is
sure,
my
for
piano,
sure.
Dog. That's my
Yeah,
piano
for
right
sure,
now.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean? But I'm got new goals or whatever.
But what I'm saying when at Tabz is hip hop, right? It had the attention, it had the youth, right? It was the music of the time. I'm saying, how can being so established, because hip hop came a long way to actually get to that point where it was at the pinnacle. It had to fight house music for so long, right? And you think about let's take it back, right? You think about Abo Squatter Camp, dog, right? Yeah. And you think about Abo Almus and all of that.
Yeah,
they took it. Yeah. And they fought for it. When nobody was listening, right? When the radio wasn't listening to them. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And they fought for it until it came to the era of Abo KO where it was dominant, right? But then after fighting for so long, Amapiano, I don't think Amapiano are more than 10 years old. But then Amapiano overtook them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Amapiano overtook, and I'm like, how can you fight for so long to be number one?
You let your guard down, my nigga. That's
you
what
understand?
it is. You let your guard down.
Especially against such a international sound, which is house music, and you fought and you won, right? But Amapiano come in and they take you out.
Okay.
I think just to maybe move it a little bit forward to put out, I think a lot of hip hop artists are just doing music that is not appealing and not people can't relate to it.
Yeah.
You can rhyme.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that what you're saying and it's attaching to people.
Okay. I'm gonna try and dissect what you just said right now.
Yeah.
So for me is when I think that the current hip hop artist or the artist that actually did had an impact in hip hop in South Africa, I just feel like they outgrew the game. Not outgrew, but they became corporate. They started cleaning the hip hop itself. They cleaned their life. Obviously, they're family man. They have to feed families.
Yeah.
They were looking out for themselves, which is not a bad thing.
Can I pick your point up? Sorry.
Yeah.
Can I pick your point up?
Okay.
I think that it's about 3 months or so, around about the Akko, where I think Ukespa tweeted Uguti, he's getting all these deals that he's getting because his image is clean. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And to be honest, Ukespa is at the pinnacle of SA hip hop.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, I'm just giving you an example to what you're saying, and I'm backing you up.
Okay, short. So that happened, and then so now when you do that, for me, it's like you're losing the blueprint of hip hop. Do you understand? If you're gonna go back to the basics, do you understand the blue? Because hip hop is always about the struggle. It's always about, when I say struggle, I'm talking about everyday struggle that most of us go through. You understand? So now you got your premium or prominent artist rapping about driving in a Ferrari, sipping champagne, and taking girls home and fucking girls on different houses. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of South Africans are going to relate to that. Okay. And then now...
But Tabz. I just want to defend that point. How can, like for instance, how can Ukespa not rap about Bentleys?
No.
Because he drives a Bentley, right?
Understand.
So when he was hustling, exactly.
No,
so he could.
But let me finish.
Rap about the hustling when he was hustling.
But let me finish my point. That's what I'm saying, is that there's a point. I understand.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can counter everything that I've said. I'm not saying that this is what it is, and you can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So I'm saying is that that's what it is. That most people are not feeling that.
Yeah, for sure.
Most people are not feeling that.
They can't identify.
Yeah, they can't identify with that. But those who can, do you know what I mean? They're getting older as well. Do you know what I'm saying? For me to afford to fuck different bitches in different houses, you know what I mean? I got to be 30 plus. I got to be moneyed up. You know what I'm saying? That's the average.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah. So, do you understand? And then you get because now it's a conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Music is a conveyor belt. It's always going to be the old and the new. So you got these new kids, right? And I'm not dissing them or anything, but these new kids that are coming out, they come from private schools. Do you understand? These new kids that rap now, they've got that. You know what I'm saying? They come from private school. They're gonna talk to private school cats. Do you understand? And then the masses in South Africa, most people, I mean, majority is not private school. Do you know what I mean? So that, so that's where now the gap happened.
The
for
disconnect.
Me. The disconnect happened for me, and then so now you had to fill the void.
So what you're saying, when at times, is that the people that are leading the movement don't reflect what most South Africans or most youth South Africans are experiencing.
Yeah.
And hence there's a disconnect. So if, for instance, you've got, I think one of the pioneers of that is Abo Talez. Utalez is
Not live.
yeah, he's fortunate, right?
Yeah.
His standing and his come up was he's decent as a rapper, but he had the resources, right?
Okay.
He's not talking about the trap. He's not talking about the hustling that he needed to go through to get where he is, because he comes from a good background. So, are you saying that those are the people that are actually spearheading SA hip hop, but now the majority of South African fans or South African people can't identify with them because they come from they come from the Pricetons, they come from the Randburgs, they come from the, Santons and all of that.
I mean, I was not gonna.
And sorry, before you answer,
Yeah.
And how much do we? Because the other side of hip hop is aspirational, right?
That's
So how much do we say people need to reflect what's happening on the ground and be real? But how much do we reflect and say hip hop is about being aspirational and people seeing their dreams, somebody who's made it reflected in them, right?
Yeah. So okay, with the letter that you just said,
Yeah.
it's that's what the layers, and I didn't want to actually be name specific of artists. But,
Yeah, for sure.
But
for
if
sure.
you're gonna use the layers as an example, I'm gonna say is that so the layers was one of the guys that inspired a lot of us that were following hip hop in
Yeah.
the sense that the kind of life that he lived. Do you know what I'm saying? We also wanted it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Outside the outside the
Aspirational.
you know what I'm saying? Outside the entertainment, obviously. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Whether it's corporate and whatnot, we wanted to live the life, to be able to party like how he parties and everything. So a lot of these cats, basically, they inspired my generation, maybe a little bit younger, maybe 5 years younger than me. You understand? They inspired that generation to do better, whatever you were involved in, whether you work in the office, whether you were a DJ and whatnot. We wanted to be that to live that rap life. You know what I mean? We wanted that. So for now, years later, you understand? Years later, that's what I feel about South African hip hop artists. Most of them is that I feel like they've set they've set a ceiling for themselves that we can only rap about this. Do you understand? We're gonna rap about the good life. Every rapper in South Africa that's popular, that's get played in the club, he's got money in his lyrics. You understand? He's got
and
money.
haters. You know how much how much I hate that shit, bro. Like everybody fair too. The guy that comes out with his first album, he's already gonna hate. I'm like, Kanchani, bro.
He probably does though.
We don't know you.
But he probably does. He's just not a hate. But you're already hating on him for saying that. That's what I'm saying.
But you know what I'm saying when I say
I get you.
If you're gonna say you got haters, rather say Usianda screwed me over on this shit. Yes. You can't just go around and say, hey, this hater, hey, you want to stop my progress. Hey, you understand?
Man, listen.
And that's why I can't relate to you, because you're not specific to what you went through. If you had to say, Usianda did this to try and stop me from blowing up, then I can say, oh shit, maybe I've got a Sianda in my crew. But if you're gonna say, hey, there's a hater.
But okay, but these guys, they go through a lot, man, to get where they're at. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. Maybe they're just talking about those haters. Do you know what I mean? I was a rapper myself for one, and you know, I was a rapper. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I was a rapper myself, man, and I didn't get through. Imagine if I felt
you
some
had
type
haters,
of way.
dog.
No, I'm saying if I felt some type of way, do you know what I mean? And I made it. Do you understand? And then now I've got a song. I have an opportunity to put out my song in the world.
Yeah.
So now what's going to happen is that I'm going to talk about my struggos of how I got here. Then I'm going to say that Usia or you, do you remember when the time I came to you and I told you could rap and Sia laughed at me? Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
No, but Intengi show.
Or didn't give me a spot.
And I agree with you, right? But what I'm saying, no, Intengi show what I say is, these guys, they don't say, Usia did 1, 2, 3 to try and stop me. They just say, there's a hater.
Well,
I've got haters.
man,
So what you're saying is true. If you want to say this guy hated on my grind and tried to stop me, that is something more powerful.
You're giving him too much credit, man. They can't write that deep, man. They can't write. Do you know how much? Like, you know how clever you're gonna be to break it down in like two bars? Like somebody hated on me. You know what I mean?
Emma, we grew up on fuck Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
And it took him a whole song to break that down.
He didn't say fuck my haters.
Yeah, but you can't come out and just be like fuck my haters.
Direct. It's like this nigga. Yeah, this nigga is fucking stopping me, right? Utupac, he's revered because he came out and he's like, when I came out, I told you it was about Biggie. Yes. And all of you had to put in your own fucking opinions. So that's what I'm gonna do. Fuck Biggie, fuck Bad Boy. Do you understand? We don't have that honesty anymore. Everyone, and I get the corporate side of things, but
because
speak your truth, dog. Speak your truth.
Because South African hip hop was not. It doesn't. The movement doesn't come from the struggle. Do you understand? Our movement. I'm talking about the current South African hip hop. Doesn't come. I mean, we had POC, Prophet of the City. Those are the guys,
from the Kapsta.
You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys. But I'm saying is our South African hip hop doesn't come from the struggle. Our South African hip hop doesn't come from the streets. Our South African hip hop comes from place of privilege. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
most
saying.
Rappers, hold on, let me finish. Most rappers in South Africa are Model C's. Do you understand? Most, not all of them, but most are Model C's.
But that's what I'm saying.
So they come from privilege. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not street like that. There's no rules in our South African gang, in the South African hip hop. Do you understand? It's just like I sound nice.
Everyone does whatever it does.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, Tabz. There are people, there are rappers that represent that side of life, the hustling life, you know, the come up life. Well, the media is not giving them a shine.
Exactly,
dog.
that's what I'm saying.
So hence
Do you remember as a kid? I'm sure you had dreams. I'm sure everybody had dreams.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I remember one time, you know, I used to play rugby, right? I remember when I told my dad, like one time, it's like, Atubaba, I'm bofunda, it's a degree. I'm like, I'm rap. Do you know the look? Do you know the look my father gave me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my father, like that look he gave me, he probably hit me like 100 times before he could get up. Like he was just like, what the fuck is this kid talking about?
Yeah.
He wants to play rugby?
Yeah.
What the hell? What kind of a profession is this? Do you understand? Go get an education. Go get an education, my son. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying is that you telling your parents you want to be a rapper. Doesn't mean you're going to be a rapper. And at the same time is that these niggas, at the same time is that they could afford to tell their parents they could be rappers. Most of them.
All right.
They could afford to tell their parents they could be
rappers. I get that, Tabz. But let's go further, right? I want to say we've recognized, Wuti, who are the names that are being pushed forward. The names from...
The gatekeepers.
Yeah, the people that are coming from, you know, the privileged situation, and they're coming from an area where they've got AMA resources and all of that. I say, I want to pledge, right? Wuti, I'm going to try my best to find these guys that need the platform, right? These guys that need the platform to actually speak what is reflective of what is South African youth are going through, their everyday struggles that they're going through. And look, I might be successful, I might not be successful in what I want to do, but I think there are young cats, young guys that are trying to push these stories forward, but they're not getting
the recognition,
the emails, right? They're not getting, they're not getting the spotlight. So, look, we at the beginning of what we're trying to do here, right?
But I think 45 minutes to talk about piano and hip hop.
No, it's cool. But what I'm saying is, as much as we're at the beginning, I think, you know, big business, they call them, what do they call it? That social responsibility. What is it called? SRI.
Yes.
Understand? I think for our SRI is that we need to. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna look for them on Twitter. We can look for them on.
Get them here. Get them on the show, man.
On Facebook
Get
and
them on the
everything.
show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I wanna shine because I really think, like I was speaking to you the other day, Gitmina, hip hop is the biggest genre in the UK. And you said you were not aware of it.
I was not. I'm still not.
The day that we were speaking,
Yeah.
I actually went to Apple iTunes, right? And out of the first top 10 songs, 7 were hip hop.
Is that? That's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
7 were hip hop,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm saying is, it speaks to the youth, and hip hop has become popular music. It's become the pop music, right? But here in South Africa, it's been shifted to the back. Even though the guys had a big run on Amapiano. Amapiano has taken over. They've taken a step back, right? And I think because hip hop at its purest, it's poetry, and it's painting pictures, it's wordplay, and it's reflective of what is happening, right? Because you can put in a lot more words and a lot more thoughts in a hip hop verse.
But that's what we lost. We lost that though. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. Gucci,
Yeah.
I believe, Gucci, there's still cats that are doing that. I believe
Oh,
that
absolutely, man. A Reese, shout out to A Reese, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he dropped a snippet.
Yeah,
of
shout
a
out to
song.
A Reese, man.
Did
I'm
you hear
kidding.
his
I've
latest
listened.
snippet?
I've been listening to A Reese, man. Like
The
I dig
latest
that kid.
snippets.
Yeah, the one
the
you
John
said-
Doe.
Yeah. The one you sent me that link. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah.
The boy is good, and
Yeah.
I think, okay, you looking at the top end of
I
the
got
scale.
to, because that's what I have.
But what I'm saying is there are guys that are not having the resources, and I think we can amplify them on this podcast, and we can amplify them and give them a voice, because I think the SA youth needs to hear those voices that are reflective of their realities, right? So I'm like I say, I'm giving myself a task. We try and find these guys,
Let's do that, man. Like, I mean,
and highlight them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I want to see hip hop grow, man. I know, as a former athlete.
Yeah, athlete.
Athlete, yeah. I played rugby, my nigga. Shit. What do you think? You need to be an athlete to be there. All right.
No, you know when you say athlete, you're thinking running on the tracks.
Okay. All right. I see you funny niggas. All right.
So when you say athlete, and you're right, he is an athlete, but
All right, this fuckers. All right. That's like the, guys. You know what? You keep interrupting me. You ring my train of thoughts here. Haters. Anyway, I'm gonna write a song about you guys. I'm gonna call it Haters. I'll be like podcast haters. Or has been haters. So it's I know as an athlete is that, even when I made my provincial accolades, whatever, when I made my provincial sides, I knew that as much
that's
as
for the rugby, right?
from the rugby side.
Yeah.
So I knew, I mean, obviously I believed in myself. I believed I deserved to be there. But at the same time, there were other players that were just overlooked that I thought they deserved to be there. Or maybe some of them were actually better than me, but I'll never say that. But subconsciously, I knew that this guy is fucking amazing.
He's dope.
He's dope. But
Yeah.
he didn't make it.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like, but I'm good too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe he felt the same way about me, but but the thing is that I had the jacket. You know what I mean? So it was, so in hip hop, hip hop as well, I think that's the same thing. It's like, you've got your number one artist in South Africa, who is your rap artist in South Africa, who is basically right now by default would be Nasty C, you know what I mean, with what he's done. But he's the best out of South Africa. A lot of people can argue that. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
This is the same arguments about Trevor Noah would talk.
Listen, okay, I don't want to get to Trevor.
We're not
Noah
going to go there, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is everyone is like,
And in terms of what though? What are we?
Trevor Noah is the biggest success.
Yeah, but I'm saying what
But
are
is
we?
he the most talented comedian?
I mean, he's proven. He's proving it right now. He's proving it right now because the thing is, the guy is not just a joker. The guy is knowledgeable. He knows shit.
Yeah.
That's
so you agree with
I
Trevor
agree.
Noah?
No, I wouldn't say. I'm
Yeah. He was big in Japan.
yeah. So shout out to
Oh, Japanese are short people, so he can.
No, man,
he's
don't
always
say
gonna
that.
be a big.
Don't say that, man. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't talk like that, man. But shout out to our cameraman,
Yeah.
see other things.
Yeah.
He comes through now and then. He's our chair. He's our hype man.
Yeah.
For the,
No, no.
I'm sure the viewers are gonna be asking like, who's there's another guy up behind
No
the
man,
camera.
that guy holds a corporate job.
Yeah.
He has to protect.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
co-signed.
so let's just maybe wrap up our
Yeah,
conversation.
let's take a
right?
break.
No, let's wrap up the conversation.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. In terms of, just to wrap up this side of are you thinking that the hip hop guys, they've started to do it? Are they gonna assimilate more towards amapiano because amapiano are the shit now? Because there's a short but think about this. There's a short run into December.
Yeah.
Right? Because of COVID.
Yeah.
We've got a short run into December.
Yeah.
So a lot of songs and a lot of music doesn't have a long time to actually build up, right? You remember the days where we used to find a song of the year, right, was released in June or May. Understand? And it had a long build up to December, right? So now, exactly. So I'm thinking, Uti, this hip hop guys, especially looking at what, like I say, Ricky Rick did with those two songs.
Song of the year there.
He's dropping music which
I'm telling you.
has got a better chance of quickly moving up the charts.
Let me
To get my point,
Yeah.
it's got a bigger chance to quickly move up the
and
charts.
it makes more bookings for him. Like I said earlier, man, South African artists, hip hop artists especially, they live off bookings more than sales. You understand? So now you got Ricky Rick now, who is basically, this is a smart move from him, a smart business move from him.
Yeah, for sure.
Who is basically filling the not void, but can fill up for Mapiano and hip hop at the same time. Do you understand what I mean? It's like I don't need to have this is the lady that I like. I think she's hot. If you're listening, I think you're hot. Something.
Shots.
She's what's her
Shots
name?
fired.
What's her name, man? I forget her name now. Sorry.
Which stable is she in?
My crush.
Which stable is she in?
She's got a Tswana name and an English something Smith. Something Smith. She's a lady.
Which stable is she in?
I don't know what stable she is. She
Oh,
does
oh.
my piano, but she's like a label Smith. You know what I mean? Smith.
Okay,
She's got an English.
I'm not deep
English
into
name. I
Mapiano.
forgot it. I just forgot her first name now. But anyway,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So you
We'll
don't
put
need
it as a caption.
yeah, I'll find out her name. I'm sorry, my crush, but yeah. But I just know you as Miss Smith. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you.
Yeah.
So you've got this. You don't have to hire that lady. Do you understand? Because we can play music off the CD or whatever. So I'm gonna hire a Ricky Rick who can give us a little bit of hip hop and who's gonna give us a little bit of piano at the same time. Do you know what I mean? So that's a smart business move from him. But for the culture, obviously, it's not a good thing. But you know what I mean? Who am I to judge on your?
Julius, what's it? Sell out.
Man, the thing is, the thing is,
Do you
for
think
me,
it's a sellout,
No,
though?
but the thing is, for me, it's hard for me to judge in South African hip hop,
Yeah.
like that, because South African hip hop never had rules before. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah,
If we had rules before, if rules were put down,
Yeah,
and then be
yeah,
like,
yeah,
nigga, you know what I mean? It's like if we just judged Snoop Dogg earlier on, judged him big time. Because there's rules to that shit. Do you understand? Not only from the hip hop community, but also from the Rastafarian community. They also be like, you know what I mean? So now in South Africa, it's like anything goes. Do you know what I mean? Anything goes because they all need to eat at the end of the day. The industry is not that great. It's not that big.
Do you think though?
Yeah, entertainment. Yeah, let me entertain. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, Ricky Rick can wake up and sing and release an R&B album if he thinks he can. You know what I'm saying? Who are you?
But do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think we're in the right direction though?
I mean,
Just maybe to wrap up.
I mean,
everything
okay,
we're speaking about.
For me, no. For me, no. I just feel like I need the old MCs back, the old, AKA I need the old. Okay, I need the KO. I need the. You know what I'm saying? I need them back. I need them to carry, to be hungry again, and not think they've made it, because they were hard for one summer. Now they think they made it. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, MT. I mean, I think I read something about MT that he went through a struggle. I don't know if he is. Well, I hope he's gotten over it. You know what I mean? After that blue success,
ambitious situation.
No, besides the ambitious, but the success that he had from his music. Do you know what I mean? He was living large, and then now he had to humble himself.
Yeah.
JR mentioned it. JR mentioned it not so long ago.
Yeah.
JR said that at one time he used to overspend just to impress people, and meantime he was broke at home, and then he had to reassess his spending or his expenses and top of the life that he was living, and became now more cost conscious. Do you know what I mean? So now it's not about, like I said, I think I mentioned it when we started. That a lot of rappers sound rich on their lyrics.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? They sound too rich on their lyrics.
Of course. I think.
So I want that hunger back, because now I just feel like these niggas, they feel like they've made it, and they're just rapping about life that they don't, life they see from the people they meet. Do you know?
Yeah.
Huh? They take ownership of it. You know what I mean? That's the thing about being an artist, man. Being an artist and being a public figure is that you expose yourself to a lot of different people from different backgrounds. So you're gonna expose yourself to Emapeleni or something like that. Do you understand? Who's a bona fide fucking, you know what I'm saying? He's got money.
Emapeleni, yeah.
Emapeleni, you understand?
Yeah.
You're gonna expose to yourself, and then he will call you his friend. Do you understand? So when he calls you his friend, now you see yourself living that life, and you're gonna rap about that life, but that's not your life. You know, and that's what's happening.
You're a guest in that life.
Yeah, you're a guest. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening with, for me, that's what's happening with the hip hop in South Africa, is that these people, they know there's important people, these 10 entrepreneurs and everything, and they feel like that's their life. You know what I mean? And then they see a Casper, you know what I mean, who I think has really made it, and I hope that he's making smart investments with his money as well.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But who's making money, like, you know what I mean? And everybody wants, I feel like people feel like for me to compete at Casper's level, I need to
do Casper shit.
Casper shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But can you do Casper shit?
Yeah, for sure.
You know
For sure. For
You know
sure.
what I mean? That's how I see it.
And you know what? I just wanna like move it a bit, because I don't want it to be a very OGs, you know, going on. Who have you got in your repertoire? I don't know if you've been following SA hip hop. Who have you got and is like, this guy can actually move things forward for SA hip hop?
Oh man. So there's a few cats, man, that I rate. There's Ginger Trill, man.
Ginger Trill,
Ginger Trill. I know
yeah.
he won SA Lyricist of the Year last year. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's got. I hope he doesn't get caught up in the whole hype, but at the same time, it's like I wouldn't blame him because he needs to get paid.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's the situation with most artists. And then you had Youngster, you know what I mean, who was coming all right. And
Youngster,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who was
CPT.
you know what I mean? I rated Bry Youngster at one stage, and I've listened to his last few tracks, and I thought that, I mean, it was, trust me, it was 10 times better than most of the shit that's coming out, but at the same time, in my standard, knowing him, it was a little bit below par.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then Kitty.
Kinney.
So Kittini.
The ambitious guy.
Ambitious guy, man.
Yeah.
I like that boy.
Yeah?
I like that boy. That boy's got so many flows, man. I like that boy. But I mean, he's also caught up in commercial. But like I said, I get why they do that. I get why they do that because underground.